You've clicked on this video because you're interested in buying a zero torque putter. Well, you're not alone. It's 2025. Zero torque is the absolute craze across the golf world. And I've rounded up 4 of the most favorite models currently available via Golf Bidder, and we're going to put them head to head. We're going to rank them on 5 categories. Category number 1 being price, obviously the lowest being the best. Category number 2 being the feel off of the face. Category number 3 being the overall stability. These are zero torque models, so they're made to try and make putting a little bit easier for us amateurs at home. Category number 4 is going to be inside 8 foot, which these things really should excel, getting that start line bang on every single time. And then 5th and finally, category 5, lag putting. This is where these sometimes fall short compared to your traditional putters. And lastly in this review, I want to cut all of the commercial crap out. Golfer to golfer, man to man, man to woman, mono to mono, whatever you want to call it. I just want to give you an honest opinion on these and how they perform for me. I like a soft feeling putter, so if you like a firm feeling putter, if I'm ranking something number 1 because it feels soft and you're someone who likes firm, then number 4 in this is going to be your number 1. So I want you to just gather as much information as you possibly can from this review. Like I said, no commercial rubbish, golfer to golfer. And if you want to see more of these completely honest, unbiased reviews, then consider subscribing to our channel. But first of all, let's get into the price of these 4 heads. So let's start off with the most expensive putter in this lineup, which is of course Lab's DF3 model, coming in at a UK Great British Pounds, £459. Now, one thing to note about the Labs is that is the base starting price. Many people go to get fit for these. There's custom shaft options to put in there and a lot of customization. So it's more familiar for these to be upwards of around £600. But if you're to buy it off of the shelf, completely standard, it's going to run you £459, being the most expensive in this review. The second most expensive is the Taylormade ZT, which again comes in at £449. That is going to be the going price for this putter though. There's not much customization options. Most people are going to be buying this off of the shelf. So £459, that's £10 cheaper than a standard Lab DF3. Third most expensive in this review is the PXG Bat Attack. It comes in at £429 and exactly the same as the Taylormade. That is going to be the price that you pay for that putter. There's no additional customization options. That is just going to be the fixed price. Then lastly, the cheapest by a country mile is the Odyssey Jailbird square to square, coming in at a UK 249 Great British Pounds. That is £200 cheaper than the Lab and the Taylormade ZT. So straight away, right out of the blocks, if you're looking for the most cost-effective option of moving into a zero torque putter, the Odyssey AI1 Jailbird square to square is by far the cheapest entry option into getting these style of putters. It's actually a little bit mad how much of a price gap that really is between the Lab and the Odyssey, £200. But will that show in performance? Let's move on to feel now. So I've already spent quite a lot of time going around the putting green, hitting putts with all of the putters. Let me just show you some of them, and then I'll talk to you about what I'm feeling in all 4 of these models. Absolutely hole in everything. Right, so loads of putts hit there with all 4 models, and I'm going to rank this feel from softest being number 1 and firmest being number 4. If you like a firm putter, like I said at the start of this video, you can switch that reverse order, and the firmest putter is going to be your number 1, softest is going to be your number 4. So just take the information that you want from this video and tailor it to what you like when you are trying and buying a putter. But the firmest feeling putter for me was the AI1 square to square Jailbird, which was surprising because the Odyssey inserts from putters I've used in the past definitely do feel a little bit softer, but in this one it is more of a ting or a bit of a hit off of the face rather than something feeling quite soft. In third place, I'm going to put the Lab DF3. I think just with it being cast aluminium or whatever it's made out of, it does ting off of the face. Anyone who's used a lab putter probably won't be too surprised at that. It is a firm feeling putter off the face. Number 2 for me is the PXG Bat Attack. It has the sort of like ridged face at the front, which definitely gives it a bit more of a muted feel off of the face. Still not super soft compared to what other putters are out there in the non-zero torque sort of category. I would still class it as a firmer feeling putter. Number 1, by an absolute country mile in my opinion, the Taylormade ZT. Let's go into stability now, because this is what these putters are all about. We're going to do a quick test. Right, so I've set up a little gate drill here. I've only got about a 5-6 foot putt up the hill, and stability for me is how stable the putter feels throughout the stroke, and also how square the face stays. That is stability in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 3 putts with all 4 putters. I'm going to show you a down the line, and you can make your own decision on what you think looks the most stable, and then I'll give you my feedback at the end of it. So let's run this drill, starting off with the Taylormade ZT, 3 putts with each putter. Let's see what one feels the best. Right, so first of all, Taylormade ZT, and as well as stability, I'm just going to quickly touch on some of the pros and cons that I have with each model. So stability wise, you tell me, I think the stroke looked pretty good there. It stayed nice and stable on the arc. It felt like the face was nice and square. Some of the pros of this to me is I find it really, really easy to line my putt up. Even if I'm not putting a line on the ball, I feel like I'm always starting this on line, which is good. But one of the downsides for this putter for me is the head size is very, very big. Face on this, compared to some of the other putters from toe to heel, is very, very long. And I just feel like the wider it is, sometimes harder to hit it right out the middle consistently. That would be the downside of this to me. But stability wise, get in the comments, let me know, how did that stroke look? So Lab, DF3, get in the comments again, let me know. I felt like the stroke was pretty good. The face didn't feel as stable as the Taylormade. I'm not too sure if that's just down to the weight of this compared to the ZT. The ZT is noticeably heavier than what my Lab is. The con of this, I would say, is I find it quite hard personally to not close this face pretty quickly. I feel like it sits a little bit shut with the shaft lean. It looks more shut than the other 3 putters. And my bad one with this definitely tends to be a pull. But the stroke felt good. The face, like I said, didn't feel as stable potentially as the Taylormade. But get in the comments to let me know, and do you think that looked better or worse than the ZT? So there we just had the Jailbird square to square. This was the cheapest, obviously, at $249, I believe, so £200 less than the others, which we spoke about at the start of this video. But this definitely feels the least different to the standard model. So obviously the Spider, you've got the Spider ZT, you've got the normal Spider. That feels completely different, looks different, performs different. But then I suppose the price of it, you can't really expect for loads. It is firmer off the face. Again, the stroke felt good. I hold just as many putts as I did with the Lab. It just doesn't feel as stable and as zero torque as the other 3 heads in this review. Then lastly, PXG Bat Attack. This does feel very stable through the stroke. Potentially not as stable as the Taylormade, but I feel like that's just down to head size and sheer weight, like I alluded to with the DF3. The pros of this is the most normal looking, I suppose, and the Jailbird, this is the most normal, traditional mallet style looking zero torque putter that you can buy. It doesn't look like a spaceship like the DF3. It isn't a massively intrusive head like the ZT. It's just your normal Odyssey Fang style mallet putter. And it does feel super stable through the stroke. But again, all 4 strokes, you've seen them all now. Get in the comments, let me know which one looks the best for you. These things are made for inside 8 foot, square face, get it online and it goes in. So with all 4 putters, I'm gonna hit two putts from two different locations inside 8 foot. I'm not expecting one to necessarily be better than the other. And here in the UK, all of the greens have just had maintenance week. So it's going to be a little bit down to luck as well. But it's just to show if they're starting online and how easy it is to potentially make those 8 foot putts. Let's go hit a few. That's terrible, horrendous. So there you go, you're not gonna hold every single 8 foot putt that you look at with these things, but they all performed pretty similar there. It could kind of tie into the stability test on how stable my stroke feels, so I've already put the ranking of those there. But the last thing, which is I think the Achilles heel of these zero torque putters, or certainly what I found with the Lab, is lag putting. How good is it with your distance control? Because although they're great inside 8 foot, they can sometimes not be so good on those 25, 30, 35, 40 footers. So we've got a 35 footer set up behind me. I'm going to hit some putts with all of them and then round out this video and give you a bit of a brief overlay of what I think of all 4 models if you are to buy one. Go. Ball's gonna stop it. Oh, it was dead center of it, the golf ball, no way. So all 4 putters there, lag putting was absolutely fine. It's just gonna take a bit of a bedding in, getting used to period. Whenever you get a new putter, that's exactly the same for all of these ZT options. They are going to feel slightly different off the face to what you're currently used to. They all feel different to one another off of the face. So what would I sort of rank these putters? So I would say, as my closing thoughts for this video, is for those who potentially are thinking of buying these putters, starting off with the Taylormade ZT, I feel like this feels the most zero torque, if that makes any sense. With the head shape being really big, with how stable it feels, I would say that this is going to be the easiest putter potentially for people to use. Then we move into the PXG Bat Attack, which is the complete opposite of the ZT. This mallet putter is the one that feels closest to your normal mallets. It doesn't feel super zero torque. It still has fantastic stability and performance, but if you're a bit of a classical, not about this new gen, new stroke, Gen Z vibe, and you want the technology of a zero torque putter, but you want it to feel traditional and look traditional at address, then I would say that the PXG Bat Attack is going to suit you most. Lab DF3, most of you would have already tried a Lab, I believe, so you'll know a lot about these putters. They were really the first to do it, although people say that Odyssey done it about 20 years ago. They were the first to make it cool and bring it to market. So stability-wise, looks-wise, customization-wise, this is the putter that you can have the most fun with and make it unique to yourself. And lastly, if you're on a budget, if you're looking to get into a zero torque putter and not break the bank, then I would say that the Odyssey Jailbird is going to be the best one for you. It by far blows all of the other putters out of the water when it comes to price point. The downside to it is I feel like it's too similar to the standard Jailbird that you can buy. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this review. No nonsense, no bullshit, no commercial crap. If this has helped in any way whatsoever, please do hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. That is the zero torque options of 2025. Like and subscribe.